With both DeVries and Enright getting into foul trouble early on in the second half, Lamar Wilkerson stepped up in a big-time way. Indiana, Penn State. Curt Cignetti is doing it again. He's got the Hoosiers off to a 9-0 start. However, this was one of the games circled at the beginning of the season. The challenges that come with being the smallest public school in the state don't just show up on the basketball court for Cannleton. They show up in the classroom as well. Many members of the Indiana football coaching staff made sure their opinion was heard, including strength and conditioning coach Derek Owings. When Shea Chesky gets going, there's arguably nobody better than her in the entire country. She spoke after the game after scoring 10 straight points by herself at the end of the first half into the third quarter about how she likes to stay clear-minded during her hot streaks. Despite the win, Coach Morin continues to come back to two things: rebounding and foul trouble. They were out-rebounded by the Eagles 39-31 today and had multiple players in foul trouble, including Lene Beaumont, who fouled out of the ballgame. The Hoosiers have had to rely on its depth a lot over the last couple of weeks. One of those players, Journey Kiaku, had a big-time three-point conversion today to score her 1,000th career point. Got off to a hot start. D'Angelo Pons off the edge, blocks the punt, scoops it up, scores the touchdown. Indiana quickly takes a 7-0 lead. You think these fans heard it was a big game? They're wasting beverages I would never waste. What's that line from the Karate Kid? Get him a body bag. Kalen Black takes off. He's in the end zone. You know, the spread in this game was 6.5 points. I think Indiana thought it was 6.5 touchdowns. The Hoosiers would get rolling a little bit. Thanksgiving on Thursday, but how about the kid from Santa Claus? Trent Sisley with the bucket, the freshman making it hurt early on this season. Tayton Conaway getting downhill, getting to his left hand, and one. He had 19 points in this one, but he can facilitate as well. Looking for Tucker DeVries, had a slow one in this game, but come on. Cannot give him that much space. He hits Charlie Becker, and it sets up this play on third down, throws it up top where the kids can't reach it, and Omar Cooper Jr., they say he gets a foot down. I don't know. We need to see this one again. Let's take a look. Here it is. He's got it. He's got it. Oh, come on. Touchdown. Oh, my goodness. The state of Indiana is home to the mecca of college hoops.
Watford for the win!
Yes! Yes! But it's also home to small-town dreams and small-town teams. Welcome to Cannleton, home to the smallest public school in the entire state.
Good. Oh, don't dribble! You had a shot, Kobe.
You know, we don't have the luxury of 35 kids coming out for basketball and picking and choosing the best ones. And with enrollment of 60, you know, you just don't have the luxury of choosing.
This small high school was so determined to compete last season, they played the entire year with just 5 players. They were dubbed the Cannleton 5 by the Indy Star, but as you'd guess, it wasn't an easy road.
The Cannleton 5, you know, we won 3 games, you know, teams that, you know, just ran a score up on us because we had no bench. They come out of it, I think, stronger kids. I think they learned a lot about life and how things are going to go in life when it's stacked against you.
Despite the struggle, Coach Garrett wouldn't have had it any other way.
I had 5 kids that wanted to be at Cannleton High School and represent Cannleton High School, and I would take those 5 kids over 5 kids that thought they were too good to go to Cannleton High School.
But it didn't deter this small town or the players driven by their passion for the game. Last season, what kept you going through that?
It was just it's the name across the chest. You're playing for Cannleton, you know, you get to wear them, and you're with your brothers every day.
To prove that, like, Cannleton had something. You know, it wasn't just like a small school that was near the river, that we had heart and when it came to our sports.
For most schools, a 3-20 record would be a sign for failure. But at Cannleton, it did the opposite. It signified a future. The Bulldogs added 6 new freshmen who went 15-4 last season.
They know how to win. You can't teach that.
We just brought in natural-born winners. You know, these kids know what they're doing.
The challenges that come with being the smallest public school in the state don't just show up on the basketball court for Cannleton. They show up in the classroom as well.
You feel like you're working uphill a lot. You know, you want to keep your enrollment going up, and sometimes, you know, that's not easy to do.
For Coach Garrett, the message still stays the same despite the low enrollment.
We got some really great athletes here. They're even better kids. It doesn't matter where you go to school. You will get out of your schooling and what you put into it.
The teachers, you get to have an actual bond with them. They actually care about you, and they care about what you do later in your life. It's good to just be heard.
And you can bet those 4 players who laid the foundation for this program will be heard on the court. because who wouldn't want to come for revenge when they suffered 12 40-plus point losses last season?
I think they have a couple games circled on their schedule. You know, everybody's got that game that, you know, hey, these guys, you know, they've done us pretty wrong. So I think they do have a couple teams in mind that they just really want to get out and run.
No matter the size, Candleton will always hold a special place in its natives' hearts.
I love this place. I've been here my whole life. I will never, ever leave this place. As long as I'm able to, I will have something to do with this school.
From Candleton, Indiana, I've been Jet Garrett. Everyone knows revenge is a powerful tool, but what about the poison of a grudge?
I've been bitter since whatever that date was. I felt like we were starting to pull apart a little bit as a team, and I didn't like that feeling either. Far different than the way I feel today.
One of the few remaining players on either roster, Shea Chesky, finished with 14 points in 29 minutes of play.
You know, Butler has a whole new team. We have a whole new team, so I don't know if they understood the revenge game behind it, but I sure did. I know Coach Morin did.
From beginning to end, the Hoosiers were simply the more dominant team.
I loved our start defensively. Knew we had to come out and pressure from the beginning. We really wanted to play in space. We wanted to play fast.
It was a breakout game for Lene Beaumont, who had a team-high 21 points and 4 threes.
Yeah, I definitely feel more confident. I'll just say I give credit to the staff and my teammates because they pour confidence into me every single day. So it's only got to continue to grow in that department, though, for sure.
Beaumont hit a 3 at the end of the third quarter that led to a special moment between her and her teammates.
Yeah, it's everything, and I have great teammates, so it just makes it so much fun. I'm playing with a lot of joy right now. You could see the genuine care, 1 through 14, through the girls.
Terry Morin has been all over the state of Indiana as a player and as a coach. Tonight, she was able to pick up her 450th career win. She spoke after the game about how important it was for her to not only do it against an Indiana opponent, but for an Indiana team.
I think it's just part of what we came here to do. We felt like when we got here 12 years ago that it was a place where we could build a program. You know, we've been able to find players that fit us, and we fit them. Tyra Buss, one of the players who helped build the program, was in attendance for Morin's milestone victory. You know, Tyra has so much pride in playing here and being a Hoosier and helping us. She was a big piece of the build. The Hoosiers look to stay undefeated as they travel to Fort Myers, Florida for a 3-game road trip. For IU Sports Media, I've been Jet Garrett. College football is all about tradition. The bands, the sunsets at the Rose Bowl, the silver helmets with Buckeye stickers, and even sayings like Hotty Toddy or Sko Ducks. But what happens when a team breaks the mold? They throw a wrinkle in that tradition. When a team that isn't supposed to be at the table pulls up a chair. Enter the Indiana Hoosiers, who are ranked #1 for the first time in school history and the favorites to win the national championship. However, they aren't the only team looking to claim glory. 11 others are going to put everything on the line with the ultimate goal of winning the national championship. We're going to cover all 12 of those teams today, so stick around for the college football playoff edition of The Toss-Up. Welcome into The Toss-Up. I'm your host this evening, Jet Garrett. Alongside me, women's basketball reporters from all over the place here in Indiana. Dylan Beach and Chase Sotsky, who are covering the team with the Hoosier Network, and IUSV's very own Grace Jeffert. I want to start right here with you, Brooks, because it's happening here in Bloomington this season. It happened last year. They go to Notre Dame and they get beat up a little bit. This year it's different. This year they're ranked #1. They're Big Ten champs. What has made this Indiana football team so different?